Nanning incident turns out. Zhang Linghe angers agency. Are fans to blame? The crowd's initially enthusiastic cheers turned into an uncontrollable wave of pushing, screaming, and panic. Cell phone cameras captured the moment when the stage, which was supposed to be the center of celebration, was abruptly halted. Zhang Linghe's name immediately became the center of attention, as the event featuring her was officially cancelled amidst the increasingly uncontrollable situation. No one was fully prepared for how quickly things could change. Seconds earlier, fans were still cheering, hoping to catch a brief moment of interaction with the actor. But the increasing crowds narrowed the space, and the line between euphoria and chaos began to blur. Backstage organizers began to coordinate with each other with tense expressions, trying to navigate a situation that had already gone beyond their initial plans. When the decision to cancel the event was announced, the reaction on the stage was mixed. Some attempted to withdraw orderly, while others remained, hoping the event would continue. It was at this point that the situation began to become the center of public attention. Short videos began circulating, each offering a different perspective, as if everyone had their own version of what really happened. Within hours, the incident spread across social media and became a major debate. Zhang Linghe's agency issued a firm statement, expressing disappointment over the situation, which they considered a safety hazard. However, this statement opened a new chapter of controversy, as some felt the response was too blaming for the fans without addressing the broader root of the problem. On the other hand, a counter-narrative emerged, claiming that the actor was actually trying to remain calm amidst the chaos. In several circulating posts, he was portrayed as trying to calm the situation and not wanting to escalate the situation. This narrative then gave rise to a new debate about whether he was truly neutral or was actually caught up in greater management pressure. These differing accounts sharply divided the public. Some netizens blamed the fans' behavior for being overly aggressive and disregarding public safety. They argued that excessive enthusiasm had turned into a real risk that could not be ignored. On the other hand, a different group directed criticism at the event organizers. They argued that lack of preparation, weak crowd control, and inadequate venue arrangements were the main factors that sparked the chaos. In their view, the incident was not simply about fan behavior, but a failure of the event management system. As time went on, online conversations shifted from simply discussing the incident to becoming a war of opinions. Fan cams, video clips, and anonymous testimonies emerged non-stop. Each piece of information seemed to fuel each side's pre-existing narrative. This situation then evolved into a broader discussion about fan culture in the Asian entertainment industry. Many began to question the line between love for idols and mass behavior that could endanger oneself and others. The Nanning incident is a prime example of how that line can easily blur in the digital age. Amidst the escalating tensions, Tian Xiwei's name emerged in public discussion. He reportedly intervened to calm the divided fan community. His presence was seen as an attempt to defuse the conflict, which had escalated and was beyond the control of any single party. This action was then seen as an attempt to refocus the public on the primary issues: safety and professionalism in event management. However, even this intervention didn't immediately stop the debate, which had already spread widely across various social media platforms. Some believe that the involvement of other public figures highlights the complexity of the situation. This is no longer just a local incident, but has become an issue that touches on many layers of the entertainment industry, including artist management, fan expectations, and social media pressure. On the other hand, some observers have highlighted how the speed of information dissemination in the digital age allows a small incident to quickly escalate into a major crisis. Every post, comment, and speculation accelerates the escalation of emotions among groups with differing views. Many have also highlighted that much of the information circulating remains unverified. However, in the digital space, truth often lags behind perception. The most emotional narratives often spread the fastest, regardless of their accuracy. In the days following the incident, the discussion showed no signs of abating. Instead, more and more new perspectives emerged, each bringing a different story. This made it increasingly difficult for the public to distinguish between fact, opinion, and speculation. the Nanning incident ultimately became more than just an event cancellation. It became a stark reflection, highlighting how fragile the relationship between artists, fans, and organizers can become when crowd pressure spirals out of control. At this point, many began to question the safety standards at large-scale public events. Did popularity always have to come with such high risks, or were there systems in place that could have prevented them from the start? To date, there has been no single version that has been fully accepted by all parties. What remains are fragments of conflicting stories, forming a picture that never quite comes together. And amidst all this, Zhang Linghe's name remains at the center of attention, not just as a figure on stage, but as part of an incident that reignited a long-running debate about the boundaries between enthusiasm, safety, and responsibility in the modern entertainment world. Tian Xiwei's name has been brought up again in subsequent discussions, particularly for his actions perceived as attempting to calm the situation. However, even his role has been subject to varying interpretations, with some viewing it as a genuine effort, while others dismiss it as merely a symbolic gesture to quell the growing criticism. Meanwhile, the relevant agencies have maintained their firm stance, emphasizing that safety is a top priority and non-negotiable. They asserted that the situation on the ground was out of control, and the decision to cancel was made to prevent further risk. However, this statement has not stopped the already widespread debate. Some entertainment industry observers have begun to highlight that incidents like this are nothing new. In recent years, cases of fan overcrowding at public events in Asia have become increasingly frequent, suggesting an unresolved pattern. This phenomenon has been linked to the rise of an increasingly intense and organized fandom culture in the social media era. Meanwhile, some fans have tried to defend themselves by arguing that their enthusiasm was not intended to create chaos. They feel that the responsibility cannot be placed solely on the audience, as security systems and event management also play a significant role in determining the outcome of such situations. However, this argument has sparked renewed debate, as others argue that crowd behavior is inherently risky. When thousands of people gather for a common purpose, even the slightest disturbance can escalate into a situation that is difficult to control, as happened in Nanning. Ultimately, this incident left a far greater impact than simply the cancellation of an event. It has become a complex reflection on how fame, technology, and mass emotions can collide in modern public spaces, leaving questions that still lack fully agreed-upon answers.